In poker, one word causes more damage than almost any other, and that word is standard. Players use it constantly. They say a line is standard, that they played it standard, or that they had to take the standard line. And once that word enters the decision, real thinking often stops. Standard feels safe. It feels approved. It feels like you cannot be wrong if everyone else would do the same thing. But poker does not reward consensus. It rewards correctness, and those two things are not the same. A standard line is not a correct line. It is simply the most common one. Common does not mean optimal, it means familiar. Standard lines exist because they work often enough across average situations, but poker is not played in averages. It is played in specifics, and specifics change everything. Position changes everything. Stack depth changes everything. Opponent tendencies change everything. Board texture changes everything, and yet players still default to the same lines they learned years ago. Bet the flop. Barrel the turn. Check the river. Standard. The problem is that the moment conditions change, that line may stop making sense. Most players never notice. They are executing patterns instead of solving problems. Standard lines come from theory. They are built on equilibrium assumptions, balanced ranges, rational opponents, and correct frequencies. But when those assumptions break, the line must change with them. This is why strong players sometimes take lines that look unusual. They check strong hands, they bet weak ones. They delay aggression, not to be creative, but to stay accurate. When a player says they had to bet because it was standard, what they are really saying is that they did not reevaluate the situation. Poker punishes autopilot. The game evolves every street. Information accumulates. Ranges narrow. A line that was correct on the flop can become wrong on the turn. Standard thinking does not update, it repeats. A line is only standard until the evidence says otherwise, and poker constantly provides new evidence. Most players simply ignore it. Here is a quiet truth. Most mistakes are not aggressive. They are habitual. You are not overplaying a hand, you are replaying a script. Standard lines also hide fear. Fear of deviating. Fear of looking wrong. Fear of taking responsibility. If the line fails, variance takes the blame, because everyone else would have done the same thing. Good poker requires ownership. You must be able to say that a line makes sense here, even if it is uncommon, or that a line no longer fits, even if it usually does. Strong players do not ask what is standard, they ask what this spot demands. That question cannot be answered by memory. It can only be answered by analysis. This does not mean you should reinvent poker. Standards exist for a reason. They are a starting point, not a destination. The best players begin with theory, and then deviate when reality disagrees. The weakest players skip that second step. They copy, and copying is not thinking. Poker is not about executing lines. It is about selecting them. Every street gives you another chance to reassess. When you ignore that opportunity, you stop playing poker and start running routines. If you want to improve, you must become suspicious of the word standard, not to reject it, but to question it. Ask why it exists. Ask whether those conditions still apply. And ask whether this hand, against this range, in this spot, still wants to follow it. Standard lines are comfortable. Correct lines are contextual. Poker rewards the second. I am Alex Mercer, and that's the spot.